The giant outcast the spaceport was full of life. Aliens of all shapes and colors walked through the busy market. The smell of roasted meat and glowing fruits filled the air. Traders shouted prices in different languages. Robots rolled past, carrying supplies. Then silence. All sounds stopped. Footsteps. Heavy, slow, powerful. Thump. 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 The crowd parted. Eyes turned. Heads lowered. She was here. A massive alien woman walked through the market. Her skin was dark silver, like polished metal. Her armor was cracked and scratched. Her height was more than twice that of most aliens. Muscles moved under her skin like steel cables. Her face was hard. Eyes sharp and yellow. Scars ran down her neck and arms. Her hair was tied in thick braids behind her. Children hid behind parents. Merchants stopped talking. No one dared look at her for long. Everyone knew her name, Veilthra, the giant outcast. She walked slowly, each step shaking the ground. No one stopped her. No one greeted her. No one dared. Some whispered that she had once been a warlord. Others said she had killed her own kind. Some called her cursed, but no one truly knew. Veilthra reached a small fruit stall. She stared at the glowing blue fruits for a moment. The merchant shook in fear, dropped a few fruits while trying to pack them. Without a word, she placed a few credits on the counter and picked one fruit. The merchant didn't ask for more. He just nodded, eyes on the floor. She turned and walked away, heading to the edge of the market. That's when he saw her. A human. His name was Eli. Young, maybe 25. Short compared to most aliens. Brown hair, rough jacket, old boots. Cargo pilot. His ship was broken, waiting for parts. He had nothing to do but explore. Eli stood across the road, holding a cup of hot drink. He watched the massive woman as she passed. Everyone else turned away, but he didn't. She felt his eyes. Slowly she turned her head. Their eyes met. He didn't run. He didn't look scared. He didn't look away. He smiled, just a small, honest smile. A few aliens gasped. One dropped a box. The merchant at the stall stepped back. No one smiled at her. No one dared. Veilthra stopped. Her huge frame stood still. Her eyes locked on Eli. She walked toward him. Thump. 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 The crowd held its breath. Eli didn't move. She stopped just a few steps in front of him. She looked down. Her shadow covered him completely. He looked up. Still smiling, Veilthra's voice was deep and rough, like rocks grinding together. Why did you smile? Eli blinked. You looked lonely, he said. A long pause. She stared at him. No anger, no hate. Just confusion. No one had spoken to her like that in years. Not with fear. Not with anger. Just kindness. Eli raised his cup. Want some tea? For a second, the giant warrior didn't move. Her eyes narrowed. Her mouth twitched, almost a smile. Almost. Then she turned and walked away. No words. No answer. Just heavy steps fading into the distance. Thump. Thump. Eli watched her go. Around him, the crowd slowly returned to normal. But the mood had changed. The outcast had been noticed, and she had noticed back. From a high rooftop, a small drone watched everything. Its red eye blinked, then flew away. Silent and fast. Someone was watching her. Someone who didn't like what they saw. But Eli didn't know. Not yet. He just finished his tea. And smiled again. The smile that broke silence. The stars blinked above. The sleeping city. Ships passed overhead like shooting stars. Lights glowed on the streets below. But one part of the city remained dark, the old supply docks. Eli walked alone. His boots clicked on metal floors. His hands were in his pockets. His mind was not on where he was going, but who he had seen. That giant woman. Those yellow eyes. That question. Why did you smile? Eli had no real answer. He didn't plan it. He just saw someone standing Alone, and something in her face didn't look dangerous. It looked tired. He stopped beside her railing and stared at the distant towers. The night was quiet, almost peaceful. Then a sound. Metal bending. A heavy breath. He turned fast. There. In the shadows sat Valefra, her back against a broken cargo ship. Legs bent, arms resting on her knees. She didn't wear her armor now, just a black cloth wrapped across her shoulders. Her skin glowed faintly under the moonlight, but her eyes, still sharp, still watching. "I didn't follow you," Eli said quickly, "just walking." She didn't answer. He took a few steps closer. Careful, slow. "You don't sleep?" he asked. Valefra's voice was softer this time. "I do not dream good things." A pause. Eli sat down on a low crate nearby. "Not too close. Not too far. I dream weird stuff," he said. "One time I dreamed my ship was made of cheese. Nothing, but then." A tiny sound escaped her. Not a laugh, not quite, but a breath through her nose. Like she almost forgot how to laugh, he smiled again, this time. She didn't ask why. Instead, she said, "I fought in 3 wars. I led thousands. I broke a mountain once with my fists." Eli nodded. "Cool," she frowned. "Cool, yeah." He shrugged. "But breaking things isn't the only way to be strong." She looked at him, puzzled. He pointed toward the market lights. "Everyone fears you. They move away, hide, but you just keep walking, every day, alone. That's not weakness, that's strength." Silence again. Eli waited, then stood up. "I should go before I say something stupid," he said, rubbing the back of his head. He turned to leave. "Human," she said. He paused. "You smiled because you saw the truth, didn't you?" Eli looked back at her. "I smiled because I saw someone who was still human, even if not by species." Valefra tilted her head. "Strange creature." "I get that a lot," he said with a grin. He walked away. This time, she watched him go, from the shadows across the dock. 2 small glowing eyes blinked. A spy bug, silent, hidden. It sent a signal far, far away. Elsewhere, deep in space, on a cold black ship, a figure in red armor opened a HOLO- screen. The message read, "Target has made contact. Human male, possible weakness." The red-armored alien leaned forward, his face hidden behind a mask. He tapped a command. "Observe. Do not engage ... yet. Let her remember who she really is. Let the human fall. Then ... we strike." Back in the city ... The next morning, Eli returned to the market. He bought the same blue fruit he saw her pick. He looked around. No giant footsteps. No heavy presence. She wasn't there. But on the fruit stall, where no one dared go before, he saw something new. A single silver coin. Her coin? A thank you? Or a warning? He didn't know. But he knew this. He wanted to see her again. Not for answers. Not for adventure. But because when he looked into her eyes, he didn't see a monster. He saw someone trying not to be one, and that was more human than most. Whispers of her past. The old hangar was quiet. Rust dripped from broken pipes. Long dead ships sat like skeletons. The light was dim, just enough to see the dust floating in the air. Eli waited. He sat on a crate, sipping from a steaming cup. A second cup sat beside him, untouched. He didn't know if she would come again. Maybe last night was a one-time thing. Maybe smiling at a giant warrior was not such a good idea after all. But he waited. Then she arrived. No footsteps this time. Just her large shape moving through the shadows, quiet like a ghost. Valefra. She sat across from him. No words, just silence. He slid the second cup toward her. She looked at it, then picked it up. Held it with both hands. Steam touched her face. "I don't remember the last time I shared a drink with someone," she said. Eli smiled slightly. "Hope it doesn't kill you." She blinked. "I have swallowed poisons before. They did nothing." That's comforting, he replied. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Veilthra placed the cup down. You want to know? She said that Eli didn't lie. Yeah. She looked up at the ceiling, the broken lights, the silent steel above them. I was born in the Iron Moons, a planet where the ground is sharp and the sky is always gray. My people, the Colossians, were built for war. Strength is everything. Mercy is weakness. Emotion is forbiddance. Her voice was slow. Like each word was pulled from a deep place. I trained from the age of 5. Broke my first enemy by 10. Led armies by 16. Eli watched her carefully. He said nothing. She continued. We had a saying, the weak must be broken. The strong must obey. I believed it, until one day. Her eyes lowered. There was a battle. A city we had to destroy. Inside, I found civilians, mothers, children, old ones. My commander ordered us to burn them all. Her hand clenched. Metal groaned softly under her fingers. I refused. I told my warriors to stop. Some obeyed. Others didn't. That day, I broke my oath to protect the innocent. What happened? Ele asked softly. I was labeled a traitor, banished. My own brother tried to kill me. I left my world in chains. A long pause. And since then, she whispered, I have been alone. Eli nodded slowly. You broke their rules to do the right thing. To them, I am shame. To me. Her voice shook just slightly. I don't know who I am anymore. Eli leaned forward. You're someone who still cares. That's more than most. Veilthra looked at him. Why do you say such things? You don't know me. Because I've seen what fear looks like, Eli said. And I've seen monsters. You're neither. Another silence. But this one felt warmer, not empty. Just calm. She looked at him again, longer this time. Searching his face. Trying to understand. Your people? She asked. Do they also reject the weak? Eli gave a small laugh. Some do. But we fight about everything. It's kind of our thing. She tilted her head. But we also believe in second chances, he said. Even for giants. For the first time, her lips curved. Not a smile. But close. Then her face turned serious. They are watching me again. Who? My people. The blood chain. They hunt those who shame the warrior code. They must have seen you speak to me, and they will use you or kill you. Maybe both. Eli sighed. Figures. I will leave this place, she said. You should too. But Eli shook his head. Not running. You are a fool. Yeah, he grinned. But I'm a stubborn one. She stared at him, this strange, small human, and felt something unfamiliar, not fear. Not pity. Respect. Maybe even hope. Far away. On a hidden ship, the red-armored figure watched them again through the drone feed. He leaned forward and hissed, let them grow close. Let her feel peace, then we will rip it from her. Enemies in the shadows. The rain started without warning. Cold silver drops fell from the clouds above the city. Neon signs flickered. The streets became quiet again as people rushed to cover. But in a dark alley near the old market, no one moved. 3 shapes stood still, tall, armored, hidden in shadows. Their armor was red and black. Their eyes glowed behind masks. The blood chain had arrived. One of them touched a device on his wrist. A small screen lit up, showing Veilthra, sitting with Eli in the hangar from the night before. The leader growled. She speaks with the human. Softens, said the second. Unworthy, added the third. The leader clenched his fists. She forgets the code. He tapped the screen again. A second image appeared, Eli walking through the city, unaware of anything. We follow the boy, the leader said. He is the weakness. They vanished into the shadows. The next morning, Eli walked through the upper levels of the spaceport. He was humming to himself, holding a bag of supplies, 2 thermal blankets, some food. and extra power cells. Things he thought Vaelthra might need. He had no idea he was being followed above him. On the rooftop, the blood chain moved like hunters, silent, fast, ready. One of them loaded a dart gun. Not to kill, just to take him. Quietly, they waited for the right moment. But something happened they didn't expect. She came early. Vaelthra appeared at the edge of the crowd. No armor, just her thick cloak, her hair tied back. But her presence, strong as ever. Her eyes scanned the market. She saw Eli, and then saw the shadows moving above him. Too fast. Her body moved before her mind did. She ran. Eli turned at the last second. Vael? Suddenly, a sharp crack from above. A dart flew toward him, but it never hit. A blur of silver metal flew between him and the dart. Vaelthra blocked it with her arm. The dart stuck into her skin. She didn't flinch. Her eyes locked on the rooftops. They've come. Who? Eli shouted, shocked. Before she could answer, the blood chain dropped to the ground. 3 warriors. Taller than Eli, but smaller than her. Their armor buzzed. Their weapons glowed red. The leader stepped forward. Vaelthra, you kneel, now. Her reply was a slow growl. No. He lifted his weapon. Then bleed. The battle started fast. 1 warrior charged. Vaelthra caught him mid-air, slammed him into the ground. The second one swung a blade. She blocked it with her forearm, sparks flying. She turned, kicked him into a wall. The leader aimed at Eli, a red beam charging on his gauntlet. Vaelthra roared, tackled him just in time, the beam missing Eli's head by inches. She punched the leader once, a blow that bent his armor, and sent him crashing into a vendor stall. The crowd screamed and ran. Eli stood frozen, breathing hard. He had never seen power like this, dude. Not just strength, controlled strength. She didn't kill them. She stopped herself. Just enough to win, but even wounded, she stood like a wall between Eli and the attackers. The blood chain warriors crawled back, broken, angry. This is not over. The leader spat. Vaelthra didn't answer. They vanished into smoke, teleporting away. Silence returned. Eli slowly walked toward her. You're bleeding. It will heal, she said. You took a dart from me. I didn't think. I just moved. He looked up at her. You saved me. She met his eyes. That is twice now. They both smiled, just a little. But her smile faded quickly. They know your face now, she said. They'll come again, stronger, smarter. Then we deal with it, Eli said. This is not your war. He stepped closer. It is now. That night, in a hidden part of the city, inside a stone chamber, the blood chain gathered. The leader placed a piece of Vaelthra's cloak on a fire pit. The flames turned dark. He lifted a red stone. Call the warden, he whispered. From the shadows a deep voice replied, It has begun. Run or stand. The sky was dark purple now. Clouds swirled like smoke above the outer edge of the city. Lightning flashed, not white, but green, silent, unnatural. Eli stood on the edge of an old transport platform. Wind pulled at his jacket. Behind him, the world felt heavy. In front of him, a doorway carved into the mountain. No signs. No lights, just a symbol burned into the stone. A hand with a broken chain. The temple of the first silence. No one went there. No one even talked about it. But Vaelthra said it was safe. A place where no signals reached, no eyes followed. She stood beside him now, quiet, watching the sky. They will follow, she said. Soon. Let them, Eli replied. She looked at him. You always speak like a warrior. I always speak like an idiot, he smirked. She didn't laugh. But she didn't walk away either. They entered the temple. The inside was dark, cold. The walls were smooth black stone. Strange markings glowed softly as they passed. Not letters, but memories. This place was ancient, long before humans. Long before COLOSSIANs. At the center, they found a great hall. A cracked statue stood in the middle, a figure without a face, holding a burning sword. Vaelthra touched the base of the statue. Her fingers trembled. "I came here once," she said. "Before my exile, I was told this place holds truth and ghosts." Ailey looked around. "No ghosts yet. They're quiet here." She sat at the edge of the hall, resting her heavy arms on her knees. Ailey sat across from her, watching the green lightning outside the window. Minutes passed. Then he spoke. "Do you regret it?" he asked softly. She didn't look up. "Regret saving lives? No. Regret becoming different." Vaelthra was silent for a while. "When I was young, I believed in only one thing: victory. I was trained to crush, to kill, to dominate." She looked at him now. "But then I saw a child reach out to me, not to attack, but to hug." "After I destroyed her city," Eli blinked. "What did you do?" "I froze, dropped my weapon. I remember my hands shaking. The first time in my life. Because of a child, because of shame." She stood now, walked slowly to the window. "I thought strength was power, but strength is also choice. And mercy is the hardest choice." The wind howled. Suddenly, a sound, not loud, just wrong. A pulse. Like something searching. Vaelthra turned. "They're near. Can they track us in here?" "No," she said, "but they will wait outside." Eli got up. "Then we wait too." But she shook her head. "They will bring more. A full squad. Maybe worse." "We fight," Eli said. "You will die," she replied coldly. He stepped forward. "Then teach me." She turned, surprised. "I'm not strong," Eli said. "Not like you, but I'm here, and I'm not running anymore." She stared at him for a long time. Then, slowly, she reached to her belt and pulled out a small silver dagger. "This was my first blade," she said. "Carried it when I was 6. She placed it in his hands. "It's not for killing. It's for reminding you who you are." That night, they sat by a fire in the great hall. She told him about the stars she had seen. Worlds without air. Cities and oceans. Beasts made of crystal. Eli told her about Earth, about dogs, about thunderstorms, about his sister who used to sing in the rain. Vaelthra listened like it was a dream. Maybe it was. For a moment, they were not soldier and exile, not alien and human. Just two souls, hiding from the war outside. Far away. In a command chamber. The blood chain stood before a tall, cloaked figure. Not armor, not muscle. But worse. The warden. Its face was hidden, but its voice shook the floor. "She hides in the old temple. Let her feel safe. Let her believe in peace. Then take the human. Break her." The last choice. The temple was cold again. No fire tonight. No stories. No laughter, only silence. Eli sat on the floor, wrapping an old blanket around his shoulders. He could feel something in the air. Like the night was holding its breath. Vaelthra stood at the broken window, her arms crossed. Her eyes didn't blink. She hadn't spoken in hours. She was listening. Watching. Waiting. Outside. The shadows moved. Not many, just one this time. A figure walked through the green storm. No armor. No weapons. A human, short, thin, gray hair. His voice cracked through the night. "Eli, you there?" Eli jumped up. "That's Commander Holland." Vaelthra turned sharply. "You know him?" "He runs the outpost near Sector 9. I helped him repair a mining rig 2 months ago." "Strange timing," she muttered. Eli ran out toward the gate. "Wait here." But she didn't. She followed. Outside, the storm blew harder. Rain hissed like acid. The old human stood with hands raised, face open. "Eli, we've been looking for you. Are you all right?" "I'm fine," Eli shouted over the wind. "How did you find me?" "We tracked a blood chain signal. Found wreckage. Knew you'd be nearby." His eyes moved quickly toward Vaelthra behind Eli. He smiled. "Ah, so it's true." Vaelthra's eyes narrowed. "What is?" The commander looked at her, the giant warrior. "The exile. The traitor who learned to feel." His tone was soft, but it cut like a blade. "We've heard stories. You're becoming famous." She stepped forward. "Say what you came to say." He sighed, pulled out a device, a small projector. Blue light appeared in the air, showing a hologram of a war fleet. "Massive, headed this way. Your people are coming," he said. "They don't want just you. They want to erase this entire region to make sure you're dead." Eli's face went pale. "But this is a civilian zone. There are colonies nearby." "They don't care," Holland replied. "And frankly, neither do some of us." Vaelthra spoke quietly. "Why are you here, human?" Holland took a deep breath. "We offer you a deal." The air turned still. "You come with us now." "Surrender." "No," Eli said immediately. But Holland didn't even look at him. "You surrender, and we'll protect the humans. We'll move the colonies. We'll avoid war." Vaelthra didn't answer. Eli stepped in front of her. "She saved me, saved others. You can't just hand her over." Holland looked at him with tired eyes. "I've been a soldier for 30 years. I've made hard calls. This is one of them." He turned to Vaelthra again. "Come with us, quietly, no cuffs, no chains. Just peace for them." Vaelthra looked at Eli. No words were spoken, just eyes meeting. He shook his head. "There's another way." She touched his shoulder. "I used to believe that," she whispered. Then she stepped forward. "I will go," she said. "No." Eli grabbed her arm. "Don't do this." "I must. You don't owe them anything. I owe you," she said. "And the people who will burn if I stay." She walked toward Holland, but something was wrong. Too easy, too quiet. And then Eli saw it. A red light blinking on Holland's belt. Tracker. Not for her. For him, too late. The sky above cracked open. A ship, black and silent, hovered above the temple. A beam of light slammed down, right on top of Eli. He screamed as it pulled him upward. "Nitrogen monoxide!" Vaelthra roared. She charged forward, but Holland pulled a hidden device and dropped it to the ground. Boom! A flash of light, and a blast wave knocked her back. When the dust cleared, Eli was gone. Holland stood alone now. He looked at her from across the rubble. "Let this be your lesson," he said coldly. "No matter how strong you are, you still care, and that makes you weak." He vanished into the storm. Vaelthra lay still for a moment, then rose. Her hands bled. Her armor cracked, but her eyes, they burned. She looked up at the sky, at the black ship vanishing into the clouds. Her voice was low, cold. "You took the wrong soul." Only a human dared. Space was silent, cold, dark. In the middle of that darkness floated a prison ship. Long, sharp, black like a blade. No name. No markings. Just one signal. Class X prisoner detained. Inside, Eli sat alone in a metal cell. His face was bruised. One eye swollen. His hands tied behind him with electric cuffs. A red light blinked above the door. No sound. No guards. They didn't need them. He was just a human. Just the bait. On the other side of the galaxy, the skies cracked open. A ship entered orbit. Fast, silent, covered in scars. At the controls stood VAEL single quotes THRA. No more cloak. No more hiding. She wore her full war armor now, reforged, black and silver. Her scars were uncovered. Her hair tied back like a crown. The time for mercy had ended. She spoke into the controls. Signal locked. Prison coordinates confirmed. The ship's voice replied. Warning. Death fleet nearby. "I know," she said. "Suicide run." "Not if I win." The prison deck. The red armored guards stood ready. 12 of them. The commander checked his weapon. "She'll come, let her." They didn't fear her anymore, because they had something she cared about. They forgot one thing. She wasn't coming to talk. And then dash boomed. The ship shook. Lights blinked. The floor cracked. One wall exploded inward like paper, smoke, sparks. A shape in the fire. VAEL single quotes THR a dot. She stepped through the flames like a storm, eyes burning gold. Armor glowing. The guards opened fire. Too late. She moved like lightning. Slam. One guard hit the wall. Crack. Another thrown across the deck. A blade slid from her arm. She spun, struck, moved again. No wasted motion. No hesitation. Only rage. Only purpose. Eli looked up as the door of his cell opened. Smoke filled the hallway. Footsteps. Then her shape. She stood in the doorway, breathing hard, blood on her knuckles. He smiled even through the pain. Took you long enough. She knelt, broke the cuffs with her bare hands. You are hurt, she said. Little bit. You should have run. You should have smiled sooner. They both laughed, broken, tired, but alive. She helped him stand. More alarms. Ships moving outside. They'll be here, Eli said. I know, she replied. Above the prison ship, the blood chain fleet arrived. 50 ships, ready to fire. A message echoed through the stars. Vaelthra, you are surrounded. Surrender or die. But something else happened. On every nearby screen, a broadcast appeared. Vaelthra's face, recorded by Eli. Her voice filled the stars. I am Vaelthra, daughter of war, traitor to monsters, protector of the weak. I am not broken. I chose mercy. I chose peace. I chose him. If that makes me your enemy, come and fall. Silence. Then one Colossian ship powered down. Then another. Then a third slowly. The fleet broke apart. She was not alone anymore. Her courage had started something new. Inside the ship, Eli stood by her side. What now? He asked. She looked at him. We live. For real this time. For real. She opened the ship's door. Stars stretched before them. Wide, infinite. He took her hand. Her hand was massive, rough, and steady. But she held him like he mattered. Like he was more than just a human, and maybe he was. After all, in a galaxy full of fear, only a human dared smile back.